Hi guys, and welcome back to Christian Cast to Hager Fishing so you don't have to. Today we are back in the bait building workshop and I'm gonna do another split crankbait or swim bait. As you might have seen, last week's video actually showed exactly how I design my split joint of the lures. That's a little bit of a sneak peek of the paint scheme for today. If you haven't seen that video, I'll pop it up here or there, and you can actually see how I created the split joint in one of the existing crankbaits that I have got. And that means you can actually go from a bait like this, that's a blank that I have prepared already for airbrushing, to a lure like this. And it doesn't take a lot of steps, but if you look at that video you anyway see it. And today's video is going to be a airbrushing tutorial, and I'll get right to it. I'll set you guys up and we'll start airbrushing, so see you soon. Welcome back to the desk, and we straight away going to start our bait, and I'll ground it first with some white. That is the first part, and now I'll go over to the second part. So there we go, and I'll set that off to dry and clean up the airbrush, and then we are going to carry on with some blue-green today. I'm trying something new. I'm not too sure how it's going to turn out, so stick around. If you want to see the bait at the end, we'll throw it into our water tank to see how it floats. So as I said before, we're going to paint with this green blue. I would say it's like something turquoise. So we'll head over and do straight away our top. So that is going to be the first color of today's bait. And we'll straight away take our tail and see about, it's nearly the whole tail that we'll be painting. So take this. That's pretty much our tail, what we're going to be going for. And the next color we're going to be working with is going to be some green, some olive green, to get the whole green theme in a little bit. I'll see how it is. I'm not too sure if it actually looks that good, but we'll see that then. And then we're going to work with some browns and some bronze and gold. So we'll see how that goes. So as I said, I put in the olive green, and we're gonna go quite light, I hope, and we're gonna go straight away over the top. Just like that. So we've got a nice transition right there, and we do it right here as well. There we go. Now I'm gonna wash this out, and we're gonna go over the top with some brown, and then we might do something with the stencil today. I'm not too sure yet. I'll show you guys how I do it, and I'll maybe think about it while I'm still doing the bait. So as you can see, I put in some brown, and we're just gonna darken down the bait a little bit from the top, just like that. So that nearly looks a little bit reddish, but now we're still gonna make a mix out of gold and bronze before we add the scales, and then we'll see how that goes. Well, as you might see, I now mixed in some bronze and gold and made a mixture. And now we're gonna go over the top and give it its last coat before we do maybe the stencil or the scales. So that is our shimmering lure. I'm still thinking if I might add something a little bit brighter that pops a bit out, but I'm not too sure what yet. So we've got our bait right here, and I made a little line stencil that we are going to, I'm not too sure if I should paint it as one, but we'll just try. Maybe put it on like that. I'm not too sure yet. We'll just try it. That's our line. So I've got that on. I'm not too sure what I should hold of it, but we'll see what it does in the clear coat. I think I would have maybe liked it a bit more if I would have done it by hand. But we'll give it a clear coat and see how it turns out. I'm not too sure yet. So the next thing we're gonna do is our scale pattern. So I've got the scale color in, and as you see, I've got new clamps that actually have got rubber on them, so that really helps with holding the fine net. And now we'll just go over our bait with the silver scale color. So that is the first part, and now we'll head over to the second part. So that is the second part. Now I am still gonna darken it down a little bit, really just a smidge, and then we will go from far away so there we go. There we go, and it is darker. And now we will just go over like that, and like that. And now we are going to wait and let that dry, and once it's dry I'll get you guys back for the scale reveal. Welcome back. We are now going to reveal our scales. I don't know if it picks up of it, but it is a turquoise bronze lure. I don't know if I like the colors too much, if I'm honest, but we'll see how it turns out. After the clear coat, you see I scuffed that a little bit, but we can't change that now anymore, so we'll see how it looks after the clear coat and after adding some eyes. Let's get some eyes on it. So there we go. We have got our eyes added, and it is a very, I find it a little bit I'm not too sure what I should hold of it, but we'll see if it catches. That's all that counts. So we'll start with our clear coat, nearly empty. Now I'll do the good old bubble trick. So there we go. Now I'll let this drip off still a little bit and clean out these notches. I'll put it off to harden. So the last part of our lure today is going to be the tail, and a quite nice and easy part to clear coat. So now I will blowtorch it once again for the air bubbles. And I also really like that once you torch it a little bit, it loses a lot of its viscosity, because at the moment it's very cold in the cellar as well. Actually, between the videos I always switch on a heater because otherwise it is not that fun. So I am now just gonna let this drip off, and then I'll put it off to harden, and I'll get you guys back for the outro. Welcome back to the outro. So we have finished our lure, and it looks like that. I hope it is like that, sharp enough. So I am quite happy with how it turned out. I'm not too sure what I hold of the colors itself yet, but otherwise the action of the split part is quite good and it syncs nicely. So that's at least fulfilled. And the other thing is I really had trouble making the lures the last days because I actually ordered myself some screws and they were terrible quality. So when I was preparing the lure blanks, I actually drilled the holes, made everything ready, and then I put the screws in, and one screw after the next just ripped off inside of the bait. So the eyelet was in my hand and the rest was stuck in the bait and I couldn't get it out anymore, so I had to redo it again. So that was a bit frustrating, so I'm going to order the old screws again that I had because I just noticed that they are of a lot higher quality. The only sad part is it's a set, so you get 3 different sizes, and I actually mainly use only one size. So we'll just leave those for future lure builds and see what it brings. And I actually also want to try and maybe do a joint without this split because it's always a little bit of a struggle with fitting everything and getting the UV resin out after coating. So I'm going to try and do that in the next builds that we're going to do. I might do something classic still because I've still got one of these lure blanks. So we might go and do him next week and see how he turns out. Didn't really think about what I'm gonna do yet, but if you want to see some paint scheme or something, you can comment it and I'll maybe do it in your suggestion. So thanks again for joining for today's build. I hope you enjoyed it and you maybe want to try this paint scheme, and otherwise we'll see each other for the next video, and keep on fishing and we'll see each other. Cheers.